All right, let's talk about something that's often pushed into the realm of folklore or Halloween costumes. But the reality is, Satan is not a metaphor. He's not just a symbol of bad things. He is a real, active enemy, and we need to understand what that actually means. Now, you might read that and think it's just dramatic language, but it's not. This is a direct, serious warning. It paints a picture of a predator, not some minor annoyance. The stakes are as high as they get, and this really sets the stage for everything we're about to cover. But here's where things get complicated. A recent study found that nearly 40% of Christians view Satan as just a symbol of evil, and many others, they're just so unsure what to believe that they kind of ignore the topic altogether. And you know what? That's the perfect strategy for him. Think about it. When a predator can convince its prey that it doesn't even exist, well, the hunt is pretty much over, isn't it? Disbelief is his greatest weapon. So, let's get this foundational piece straight. We have to move past seeing this as just symbolism and start looking at the very real consequences of this spiritual reality. Because if you pull this one thread, the whole thing starts to unravel. It's like a theological domino effect. If Satan isn't real, then who was Jesus battling in the wilderness? A phantom? And the cross, what did it defeat? Exactly. Suddenly, spiritual warfare becomes just a metaphor, and the church is left completely unarmed for a fight it doesn't even know it's in. Which brings us to the nature of the fight itself. If he's real, and the battle is real, then what's really on the line? It's nothing less than a war for your soul. Let's be crystal clear about his objective. It's not to just cause some minor inconveniences or give you a bad day. The goal is total destruction, to devour your faith, to wreck your family, to silence your witness, to steal your hope. It is all-consuming. So what's his number one weapon? Deception. Scripture defines his very nature this way. He doesn't just tell lies, he is the source of lies. He twists Scripture, he masquerades as an angel of light, and he loves using half-truths, just like he did way back in the Garden of Eden. And honestly, his playbook is pretty simple and it hasn't changed. It's a three-step process. First, he deceives your mind with doubt, with questions, with outright lies. Second, he distracts your heart with worldly anxieties, with pride, with endless desires. And once your mind is deceived and your heart is distracted, your soul is completely vulnerable. He's not creative, but man, is he effective. And this is where we can see a dangerous misalignment. So often, the church gets focused on programs, on self-help messages, on just trying to manage and minimize sin. But all the while, the enemy is focused on warfare, on spreading lies, and on maximizing sin at every turn. It's like we're playing checkers and he's playing chess. This is such a critical reminder for all of us. The real enemy is not the person who cut you off in traffic or your difficult boss. The real battle isn't physical. It's a spiritual one against a real enemy with a real destructive agenda. And make no mistake, he's been at this for a long, long time. He went directly after Jesus himself in the wilderness, challenging the Son of God face to face. His work is happening right now, today. He actively works to put a veil over people's eyes to keep them from seeing the truth of the gospel. And his scope isn't just individual, it's global. He deceives entire cultures and nations, showing just how vast his influence really is. But, and this is the most important but you'll ever hear, this is not a story about his power. This is the story of his absolute total defeat. So now we pivot from the problem to the decisive final solution. Jesus' arrival on Earth was basically a search and destroy mission. He came with a specific purpose, to dismantle and obliterate the enemy's entire operation. This wasn't a side project for him, it was the main event. You see, his defeat wasn't some last-minute plan. It was prophesied from the very beginning, in Genesis. The decisive, head-crushing blow was delivered at the cross. And his final sentence is already written. He's a defeated foe, just waiting for his sentence to be carried out. So what does that mean for us, right now? For those of us living between that decisive blow and the final sentencing? Well, this last part is all about how we apply this truth. It's about fighting from a position of victory. Our command is so clear. It doesn't say debate the devil or ignore the devil. It says resist. That's an active, firm, powerful stance. And the promise attached is incredible. When you resist, he will flee. You're not fighting in your own strength, but in the authority that Jesus already won. And this right here, this is the most important mindset shift we can possibly make. We are not in a fight, hoping that one day we might win. That is not the Christian's position. The war has already been won. The outcome was secured 2,000 years ago on a cross. Our job now is to enforce a victory that is already ours, to fight from a position of absolute certainty about how this all ends. He's defeated, and he knows it. So, the call to action for the church today is urgent and it is clear. We have to wake up. Stop laughing at evil like it's a joke. Stop ignoring the spiritual battle raging around us. Stop trying to explain away the enemy with just psychology or sociology. It's time to stand and it's time to fight. And that leaves every single one of us with a final, very personal question. This isn't just abstract theology. The battle is real. The question is, are you in the fight?